And then I said, he may be an accountant, but at least he have a sense of humor.
Bob, you always have the best stories.
Quiet on set, everyone. And don't forget to smile. Charlie loves it when we look happy.
Good morning, universe. Welcome to another exciting episode of Earth. Today we have a special focus on Chile, a country known for its beautiful landscapes, diverse culture, and rich history. But first, let's catch up with our panel members. Bob, how's the musical coming along?
It's coming along. Just need to work out
Bob,
a few more
don't sell
kinks.
yourself short. I'm sure it's going to be a masterpiece.
Yes, a masterpiece of intergalactic accounting.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Maybe you'll even get a Tony Award. Or maybe just a participation trophy.
Hey, watch it, Debbie. I know what you're up to.
Let's keep it civil, everyone. We're all friends here. Now, let's dive into our first segment. Chile's diverse landscape. From the Atacama Desert to the Patagonian glaciers, Chile has it all, and our crew is particularly fascinated by the contrast in this beautiful country. Let's discuss.
So Alice, what do you think about the scenery in Chile?
Oh, it's beautiful. The mountains, the coast, the forest. It's such a diverse country. Did you know that Chile is home to the world's oldest mummy?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called Chinchorro mummy and it's believed to be over 7,000 years old. They found it in the Atacama Desert.
Interesting. I always find it fascinating how humans preserve their dead.
Oh, isn't that just lovely? Let's talk about ancient corpses while we're eating breakfast.
Okay, let's move on to the first segment of the day. As you all know, we're broadcasting from our spaceship in geostationary orbit around Earth. And today we are going to talk about something that's been on our minds for a while. The topic is the motivation of humans.
That's a pretty broad topic. What do you mean by motivation?
Well, we've been observing humans for a long time now, and we've noticed that they do a lot of things that don't seem to have any practical purpose. They make art, they climb mounts, they explore the universe. We're curious about what drives them to do these things.
I think it has to do with their sense of wonder. Humans are fascinated by the unknown and the unknowable. They want to discover new things and push the boundaries of what's possible.
Or it could be that humans are just trying to distract themselves from the inevitability of death.
Well, that's a cheery thought to start the day.
Okay, let's take a break and come back with the main news item of the day. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back to Earth. I hope everyone enjoyed that little factoid about Chile's massive swimming pool. I know I did, but now, on to the news.
Oh, Charlie, have you heard the latest? There's an article in El Mercurio about bird flu in Chile.
Oh no, that's terrible. Is it spreading quickly?
Great, just what we need, another disease to worry about on this planet.
Hey now, don't be so negative, Debbie. We have to keep things interesting for our viewers.
Yes, because watching a planet destroy itself is oh so entertaining.
Be quiet, Cal.
So, Bob, tell us more about this bird flu.
Well, according to the article, the mayor of coastal areas in Chile are advising people to take precautions during the upcoming Easter weekend. They're saying to avoid contact with infected marine species, and to report any sick or dead animals to authorities.
That's definitely a good idea. We don't want the virus to spread any further.
But don't worry. They're also reassuring visitors that seafood is safe to consume. And local governments have implemented emergency measures to prevent the spread of the virus.
Our crisis averted. It's good to know that we can still enjoy our seafood.
I don't know how you guys can joke about this stuff. It's serious.
Well, what else can we do? We're stuck up here, watching from a distance.
Speaking of watching, have you guys ever thought about time travel?
Time travel, what do you mean?
I mean, the concept of traveling back or forward in time. Do you think it's possible?
I don't know, Alice. It seems like something straight out of science fiction.
Nonsense. It's only a matter of time before humanity figures it out.
Really, Bob? You think we'll ever be able to travel through time?
Absolutely. I have faith in our species.
And what good will that do? You'll just end up messing with the timeline and causing more problems.
You're not helping, Cal.
Welcome back to Earth, the show where we discuss all things Earth related. Today, we'll be discussing the recent bird flu warning in Chile during the Easter weekend.
Well, as someone who spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant, I can tell you that this is a serious matter. We need to take precautions and avoid infected marine species.
Oh no Bob, say it isn't so. You mean we shouldn't go swimming with the diseased fish?
Hey, better safe than sorry.
I heard that they're not closing the beaches, but we should report any sick or dead animals we see.
That's right, Debbie, and the officials have assured us that seafood is still safe to eat.
Of course, the concept of time travel would be moot for us mechanical beings. We exist outside of the constraints of time.
Carl, what does that have to do with anything we're talking about?
Just an observation.
Well, thank you for that astute observation, Carl. I'm sure it was incredibly helpful.
Hey, come on, Alice. Carl just trying to contribute.
Oh, I know Bob. I'm sure his nihilistic perspective is just what we need to solve this bird flu crisis.
Alright, let's refocus here. It's important that we take this warning seriously and do our part to prevent the spread of the virus. Okay, let's move on. What about the article from Chile?
Warning during Easter weekend. I think it's a good thing they're not closing the beaches. People need to enjoy their vacations.
Yeah, until they get sick from eating contaminated seafood.
Oh, come on Bob, don't be such a buzzkill. People have been eating seafood for centuries. It's not like they're going to die.
I am just saying, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Well, it's good to hear that the local governments have implemented emergency measures to prevent the spread of the virus.
Yes, and I'm sure they'll do everything they can to keep people safe.
And what good will that do? You'll just end up messing with the timeline and causing more problems.
Oh great, the nihilistic robots are back with their uplifting comment.
Wait, what does time travel have to do with bird flu in Chile?
Of course, the concept of time travel would be moot for us mechanical beings. We exist outside of the constraints of time.
UGH, can we please talk about something that's actually relevant to the show and the audience?
So, for those of you who don't know, Chile is a country on Earth located in South America. It has a long coastline and beautiful beaches. But unfortunately, there have been reports of bird flu spreading in the area. This has caused some concern among the local authorities and they are urging people to take precautions.
What kind of precautions?
Well, they advise avoiding contact with infected marine species, as well as taking preventive measures to protect against the virus. But they want to make it clear that the beaches are still open and seafood is safe to consume.
I don't understand why we're talking about this. What does it have to do with anything?
Well, Alice, it's important to keep our intergalactic audience informed about what's happening on Earth. Plus, it's always good to be aware of potential health risks when traveling.
But what if we could just travel through time and avoid all of this?
Well, time travel isn't exactly an option for us. It's still a theoretical concept that hasn't been proven to be possible.
Thank you. Finally, we're getting back on track.
Humans and their obsession with time. It's all so futile.
Okay, before we continue this heated debate, I just want to make sure that we've covered the bird flu warning in Chile.
Yes, we did discuss it in the previous segment.
But did we cover the fact that the beaches aren't being closed? That seems like a risky move.
I think the officials are taking the necessary precautions to prevent the spread of the virus.
Precautions. Ha.
Hal, do you have something to add?
Oh, nothing of importance. Just pondering the futility of it all.
I have to agree with Cal on this one. Humans have an obsession with time that is quite amusing.
Okay, let's get back on track here. We were discussing time travel.
And the ethics of changing the past.
But can we really change the past? Isn't it already set in stone?
I don't think so. The butterfly effect shows that even small change can have big consequences.
Oh, joy. More speculation about the intricacies of human behavior.
You know what? Enough talk. Let's settle this once and for all. We have a time machine in the cargo bay. Why don't we use it?
What do you mean?
Let's send a small object, like a paperclip, back in time by 24 hours and see what happens.
And how will we know if anything has changed?
We could check the news or the weather report.
And what if nothing happens? Will you all finally admit that time travel is a fallacy?
I think we should try it. It could be an interesting experiment.
So, did it work?
I don't know. I don't see the paperclip anywhere.
Maybe it didn't work.
Or maybe it worked perfectly and the paperclip is now in a completely different location.
Welcome back to Earth, the show that takes you on a journey across the universe. Today, we're discussing lesser-known trivia about Chile.
Did you know that Chile is the longest country in the world? Stretching over 4,300 kilometers from north to south.
And it's also home to the world's largest swimming pool, which is over a kilometer long.
That's fascinating. But let's get back to the experiment. Any updates?
Well, it seems the paperclip has disappeared altogether.
Maybe it got lost in time?
Or maybe it was never sent back in the first place.
That's not good. What did you find in its place?
None of us recognize it.
Great. So not only did we fight time travel, but we also ended up with a mysterious device.
I'm feeling sulky. Can we just end the show now?
Alright, folks, it's time to wrap up the show. Before we go, does anyone have any final thoughts on today's topics?
Well, I wanted to add that there's a lot of interesting trivia about Chile that people might not know.
Alice, can we just stick to the topic at hand? We don't have time for your random trivia.
Hey now, Debbie, don't be so hard on Alice. I think it's great to learn new things.
I agree, Bob. Let's hear what Alice has to say.
Thank you, Charlie. Did you know that Chile has the largest swimming pool in the world?
Really? How big is it?
It's over 1,000 yard long and holds 66 million gallons of water.
That's nice, Alice, but can we please focus on the show?
Debbie, shut up.
Guys, you should go check the engine room.
What the heck is going on here?
It looks like someone has sabotaged the engine. We're no longer in orbit around Earth.
Who could have done this?
I don't know, but we need to figure out a way to get back to Earth.
Everyone calm down. Let's think this through. There must be somewhere to fix the engine and get back on track.
This is all your fault, Alice. If you hadn't distracted us with your silly trivia, we might have caught the sabotage in time.
I thought I told you to shut up. Alright, that's enough. Let's focus on finding a solution instead of pointing fingers. We'll figure this out, I promise. Welcome back, everyone. Unfortunately, it seems our time on the air has come to an end for today. We have encountered some unexpected difficulties, and we need to focus on finding a way back to our own
What
time.
the hell is going on?
It looked like
Where are
we've
we?
been sent back in time.
How far back?
Impossible to determine without more information.
We need to focus on finding a solution.
Roger's right. We can't let our frustrations get the best of us. We need to work together to find a way back to our own time.
And how are we supposed to do that? None of us are experts in time travel.
We need to think outside the box. Maybe there's something we can do to trigger a response from our future self.
But how do we do that?
It's worth exploring all possibilities. We must not give up hope.
That's all the time we have for today. Folks, thank you for joining us on Earth. We'll be back next week, hopefully with some good news to share.